May this video find who it needs to find. May this be divinely guided to anybody who really needs to hear this message. Um, this will be a message of encouragement. This will be a message of faith. These will be instructions how to get through your darkest of times. I know it's not easy. I may not look like it. I may look young. I may sound young. I may look like, oh, I've had an easy life. But trust me, I've had one of the most challenging lives that someone could ever live. Covertly, overtly, which means like only I would know in certain circumstances. And then in other circumstances, yeah, it's been apparent. So in my darkest times, in my darkest moments, when I've been going through it at work, at home, the thing that has gotten me through each and every time was relying on Source, the universe, my angels, God. And the reason why I say it in all of those different ways is because even when I didn't realize it was the universe and Source that I was truly talking to, my angels, I, still relied heavily on just the thought of a higher power, on God. And I feel like this is so important because honestly, you are just a small fraction of what gets you through those hard times. When you look back on some of the situations that you've been through, when I look back at some of the situations that I've been through, I can truly say it was only by, like they say, by the grace of God. It was only by the grace of God. And once I truly started to get in touch with spirituality, I leaned as the situations got darker and the situations became more overwhelming. How I was able to keep my cool, how I was able to really muster inner strength. I mustered the inner strength from God, from the universe, from my angels, from that higher support. So you might not even know. Okay, so that's like a story for a different day. I feel like people do pray to God, people do pray to like higher forces, and sometimes they don't know, what they're praying to. But I feel like if you sincerely pray, but like, I don't even know who I'm praying to. Just please, okay? If you have good intentions for me, I pray to the one who has the best intentions for me. If you say it like that, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you. I've never heard you. Maybe I felt you, You don't have to say that, but even if that's in your heart where you truly you don't know, if you just pray with sincerity, you pray from the heart. And I get messages like this all the time that my prayer works because I pray from the heart. And praying from the heart really just means you pray with the utmost of sincerity. You're like, I really need help. Help me. Those two words are a prayer so powerful, so strong that you can what is the word? You will, oh my goodness, what is the word? It's like armies of angels will take to battle for you. You will summon armies of angels, armies of ancestors to come and fight by your side, to help you through whatever darkness you are facing. Just with those two words, that is such a powerful prayer. It is short, but it is mighty. Help me. Please help me. I need help. I've said that prayer so many times. So many times on my knees, in tears. On my knees with my head to the floor. Please help me. And you may not know who was listening, but someone higher, with more power, with more sight, with more pull. Someone who is spiritual, who is in the spiritual, and everything happens in the spiritual. So while you are fighting these physical battles, it's been already happening in the spiritual. When you say help me, because sometimes, especially when it comes to angels, you have free will. So if you're a person who think or have ever thought that you've had to even if it's a subconscious thing, something that you don't even realize you're doing, that you had to fight your battles alone, please believe you have never had to fight your battles alone. And you can get more support. There is more support available to you when you ask for it. You have free will. So if you're subconsciously like, okay, dang, I got this bill to pay. How I'm going to pay it? Now I got to figure out how I'm going to pay this bill because I'm facing eviction. I'm facing my lights being turned off. My food's going to go bad. I don't have any food for the rest of the week. I don't get paid for 5 more days. And I have children in the house. Where am I going to get this food? Where am I got to call this person. I got to call that person. I got to do DoorDash. I got to do this. I got to do that. Sometimes it's as simple as asking for help, because then you don't have to figure out, you don't have to blow through all of these options. The option will be made available to you. A way will be made out of no way. Maybe spirit, you know what I'm saying, tells you to call this person. This person pops in your head. And maybe they wouldn't have popped in your head. Or maybe they would have, but spirit tells you to call them. No, don't wait. Don't wait till later on. Call them right now. So they like, oh yeah, I'm on my last 20. Dang, I was just about to go out and buy a bottle of wine. And I don't need it. You need it? Cool. Come get the $20. You go get the $20. You go to the store. As you're in line from the store, spirit tells you, don't count. Don't count the food. Just put stuff in your cart. Just put whatever you need for the next 5 days in the cart. Don't count it. So you thinking, dang, I'm gonna get up to the register. You just, I'm just telling you to do it. But you, in the back of your head, you like, I'm just gonna get up to the register and they just gonna think I'm ghetto or whatever. I don't got enough money because I'm putting stuff back. I'm putting up the most important. But then all of a sudden, as you get to the cash register, somebody behind you or somebody in front of you, they say, I got it. I got it. Let me see that. And you was running low on gas. We ain't even talk about the gas. We was just talking about the food for the babies. You was gonna have to like make a way out of no way, especially with the gas too. You might was gonna have to catch the bus. But you wasn't tripping off the bus as long as your babies can eat. Or say your gas was good, but you only buying food for the house. When you got to work, you was gonna be hungry. But you did it before, so you'll do it again. You'll just eat right before work and right after work. Now you got food to eat at work. Now you don't have to struggle so much. We have free will. We've always had free will. So the angels, the ancestors, sometimes they can only help as much as you allow them. They are always source, universe, the higher power, highest power is always working for you. But the extra help, sometimes that way cannot be made available unless you ask for it. And when you are in the darkest of times, do not be afraid to ask for strength. Ask for strength. Ask for knowledge. Ask for a way to be shown on how to get through. Ask them, tell me what to do. What am I supposed to do? You may not hear it in the moment, but when the next time something where a decision needs to be made, the decision will be made clear. So I'm going to do like a little story time. In 2025, this was last summer, I've had the worst, one of the worst summers of my life. Where I was living with my children's father. And this was the first time that I've never been in control in this way, because I didn't have a job. I gave up nursing. Well, I didn't quite give up nursing. I got pregnant unexpectedly, and then I moved in with him because working and being pregnant, I just didn't want to do that again. And then plus on maternity leave, I still wouldn't have been able to pay for everything. So I moved in with him. And, you know, I was on food stamps. And we had moved from the apartment. First I moved with him in an apartment, then we moved in a townhouse. So by the time the townhouse came along, I've already been living with him for about 6 months. And he started complaining about being lonely, wanting a girlfriend, having a house, but not being able to invite who he wants in. Because I was there, and we weren't romantically involved. So, like sexually, none of that. It was just strictly for the kids, you know. I have 2 of them. And I was like, okay, you know, this was a really harsh lesson for me. But I said, okay, I was people pleasing. So to make him comfortable in his own house, what I thought to make him more comfortable was gonna make me uncomfortable in a place that I had to stay in. So he invited a girl over, you know, she started coming over, and they became the karmic couple from hell. She was, you know, very jealous, very bitter. She was very much so put aside by me being there. And it quickly escalated into a very weird situation. When he wasn't there, she had came in the house while he wasn't there because he gave her keys to get something out of his car. But instead, she came in the house and yelled my name. She had found us, me and my babies. We was at like it was a townhouse, so they had their own little playground. She had rolled past on another time. She was yelling something out the window. It sounded like a curse. She was just yelling out the window. So it quickly divulged into something that was very weird. But when I seen her, it was she was very much so withdrawn, like didn't want to speak. It was so weird. When she was there, it became increasingly like I couldn't come downstairs and go and get something to eat. I couldn't fix anything for the kids. It was just very increasingly inappropriate. Like they would tell me I had to put on clothes. Mind you, I wasn't walking around like this. This is a bathing suit. This is a bathing suit, y'all. But like she would come over and she would wear like sweatpants and like a whole sweater, and it's like in the middle of the summer. But then I would get complaints where he started saying like I needed to put on clothes. Like that started, like it just, really divulged, and it started happening quickly. So then he wanted me to talk to her about my children, about putting them in the daycare where she worked at. And I quickly started to sense that something sinister was really happening. So he wanted to put me out, to move her in. Mind you, he only knew her for less than 3 months. And he wanted her to basically take care of my kids. Hell to the no. So when she called me on the phone, I ended up just cussing her out. I did, because I'm like, at this point, it's some weird stuff going on. You already came in when he wasn't there. You already been moving shady. You already been acting weird. You barely can say hi to me. So you want to, in person, hi, how you doing? That's how she used to do. And I used to be like, hi, how are you? You barely can speak to me in person, but yet you can get on the phone and try to talk to me about my kids. No, I knew it was agenda there. My discernment, my spirit was like, eh. Even when he asked me, I was like, eh. But, you know, I was people pleasing the lesson. So after that, it became really hostile. It became really, really hostile. So the day she came in, I think this was after I just like actually shortly after I cussed her out, that she came in the house. She ended up dropping her wallet. So I knew I was going, no, she dropped her ID. It was just her ID, because I guess she was rushing to get back out the house. So when I came downstairs, I was like, oh, so somebody was in the house. I did hear my name. I wasn't crazy. I looked at his car. The clothes was gone that she was supposed to pick up, and then I saw her ID. So I threw it away. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm like, okay, if you wasn't in here, then how did it get in? You know what I'm saying? I was playing. I was going to see whether it was going to come out. So then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, where her wallet at? Where her this? Come to find out, looking on her wallet, she had to blow in her car. She was one of them girls that she was a drunk. She got a DUI. It was so bad that she had to blow in her car in order for her car to work. And this is how he was getting around. And they would take my babies out in the car with her because she had a child. Like on little like play dates. A mosquito got the fuck out of me right here, y'all. So it was just, I was estranged from my family. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, just go back home to your family. My family was a whole nother other. I was estranged from them for a reason. They were not an option. They had let me down so many times before. And that's what I mean. Like, this wasn't my first round of darkness, bout of darkness. So it was really one of those golden situations for a possessive. And if you know anything about possessive men, they like to corner you. They like to isolate you from your family. But my family, you know what I'm saying? That had to happen anyway. But I didn't know that he was as dark, as sinister, as possessive as he was. So we ended up, it got so bad, they used to kick my door open and run into the other room. One time she tried to come fight me in the room, and he had to drag her downstairs. Like, this is what I mean. And this is where I'm staying with him and my kids. Taking care of his kids as well when he went to work. They were our kids. It got to such a bad point where I got my taxes back because I worked the year before, and at the time I was getting food stamps. When I was in the kitchen, like, we ended up like not speaking, because as that, you know, it's like, don't speak. You know, we wasn't even on speaking terms. It was so bad. But I was still breastfeeding and all that. She was still very young. So it came to the point where he was telling people that I was selling my food stamps. He didn't know where I had got the money from. I didn't tell him that I got my taxes back. It wasn't his money. I wasn't going to owe him. The year that I got my taxes back, he didn't take care of the children. I mostly took care of the children financially, so I wasn't giving him the money. And it was my work taxes as well. So he was telling people that I was selling I was, what is it called? I was soliciting. This is what he was telling people. When the police got called, because I had to call the police on him, because after I ended up telling him I threw away her license, he tried to go in my purse and throw away my license. So we in there having a physical confrontation, yanking back, because I'm trying to prevent him from throwing away my stuff. Mind you, I've known him for 10 years. He's proposed to me at one time. This not no new baby father, baby mother type. This is like, we was 10 years deep at that point. And she only met her for 3 months. I'm trying to tell you, this was like the karmic couple from hell. Like, it really opened my eyes. He told the police when they came that I had stole his $5. That I found $5 when I was washing clothes, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm keeping the $5. So that's how bad it was. Like, that's how bad he was acting. He was like, oh yeah, she stole money from me. Because I smoked weed at the time. Oh yeah, she stole because she just want to get high. Mind you, he smoked weed and he works at a job that he's not supposed to. I wasn't working at the time, so it was fine. Anyways, just little stuff, slandering my name to the police, slandering my name to my family that I didn't even deal with at the time. He was telling my parents that I was having sex with a 17-year-old little girl, like one of my neighbors from across the street. She was underage. He was trying to say I was having sex with her. Like, it was just all of this stuff that I had to go through. Then me and her got into a physical altercation. And she was taller. It was crazy because she ended up jumping off of a dryer onto me. And I'm a little short thing. So it was over after that. After she got on the dryer, like she was like sitting on the dryer, after she jumped up off the dryer and basically attacked the fuck out of me, it was over. I couldn't even fucking defend myself. It was crazy. I had to call the police. The ambulance came, had to check me out. It wasn't that bad, but still. He went that night and he got a protective order against me that I had to get up the next day and be to court for. Or like the next 2 days. I had to catch the bus. I was in and out the courtroom for like the next 2 weeks because after he did the protective order against me, they granted it. So then he was trying to put me out off of that, but it wasn't final. So they couldn't put me out off of that. He was lying to the judge. The judge was eating it up. It was so bad that everybody, like even his secretary, the judge's secretary was like shaking their head like, this is a 6 foot, 200-something man, and I'm 5'3", 5'4". As small as I was smaller than this. I was skinny. I was going through so much. I was skinny. I was just beginning to gain my weight back. They was shaking their head. His secretary was shaking her head. Like, I know you did not even grant this man a temporary protect. Like, that's how crazy. He was stuttering, and I was so elegant and coherent because I was telling the truth. The judge was like, yeah, what's this about papers I hear? Because he wrote on the paper that I was basically smoking weed, using drugs, but that's not, it's legal. Recreational smoking is legal in Maryland. So what was that? What did that have to do with anything? And the judges are not supposed to talk about anything that's not. So the judge was being real unfair, and I had to deal with this judge all throughout. Spirit came to me. It was so bad that the second hearing, he dropped my baby out the she was in the car carrier because I had to catch the bus, so he had to bring her. He dropped her out the thing. He wouldn't give her to me after he dropped her out because we were sitting on 2 different sides. The bailiff had to talk to him like, I can tell like this is not right. She kept winking at me like, I can tell like he is on something. He is on, because his aura. It was like several times he seemed like he was possessed. I had to end up getting a protective order against her. And every time I would take action against her, like file charges against her, he would put all my stuff outside and I had to stand my ground. The police would get called over and over again, and police would just kept telling him, like, no, you can't do that. Then he actually went to court and actually filed a petition to have me removed. Like, all this, like, all of a sudden, where I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't have babysitting. I just know that I have to stand my ground. Well, why you ain't go get a job? My license was expiring at the time. I didn't have the $300. The taxes was only about so much. Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, things got heated. Things got, you know what I'm saying, really quickly. It happened in the span of like 2 months, 2.5 months, where everything happened so quickly. I didn't know where my babies was gonna go. Oh, my parents are drug addicts. So maybe that gives a little bit of context of why I wasn't just gonna call them. If I had already cut them off, it was because of some reasons. Safety of my children, safety of me. It was reasons. I had a lot of people turn their back on me, not be there for me. These ants, okay, you can't be come on now. But I really had to stay strong. Then he took my children and dropped them off in another state to his brother and left them there for a week. And he acted like he wasn't gonna go get them. So for that whole week, I was up and down on the bus. It was sweltering, calling the police, trying to get a welfare check, trying to get them to bring them back. But because you don't have a custody agreement in Maryland, technically you can't, like, there's nothing that can be done. And I didn't know when the next time he was gonna get them. It was really turning up. He was throwing away my food. Like, the police got called so many different times, and I've done so much for him over the years. I leased a brand new 2020, I co-signed for him a brand new 2020 Dodge Challenger that 9 months later he ended up, but that should have been like, faith, you know, he couldn't afford it in the first place. That's why I shouldn't have did it in the first place. That's the reason why I kind of blame myself. It's like, okay, well, he gave it up after 9 months, and of course, because I shouldn't have did it in the first fucking place. But like, something I've done so much. When he got put out, like, honestly, the year before I took him in, or 2 years before I took him in, it was just crazy how all of a sudden he got the opportunity to try to destroy me, take me down, try to put me out. He kept calling my parents. My parents came over high as a kite. High as a kite, asking to come, like, seeing if they can come get me, and they will always come late, like real late in the night. It was just real, it just seemed like demons were swarming me. And I basically telling all of y'all that to say, Spirit told me not to go to a homeless shelter. Don't leave. Don't take your children. When he's putting you out, stand your ground. It may feel funny. It may feel crazy. The neighbors might know. This, that, and the third. But don't leave. I had to bring my 65-inch TV up the stairs by myself. They say just keep going. They gave me the strength to carry my TV upstairs. They gave me the strength to push my dresser back upstairs. He popped. We was living on air beds. He popped the air bed. I was sleeping on the floor. The whole time my kids was gone, I was sleeping on the floor. Because a couple days before that, he popped my mattress and he took all his covers out. And I was just sleeping on a bare floor. Pumping, trying to keep pumping. My milk ended up drying out. And I think I sustained it, but once my baby came back, it was so much cortisol in my milk, it changed the taste of my milk. My baby didn't want my milk anymore. So he was interrupting with the breastfeeding, me breastfeeding her. But I still was trying to breastfeed, keep it up, even though I'm stressed out, even though I'm on a bus in the sweltering heat. I'm going to trying to get custody. I'm filing for child, not child support, but, child custody. There, the judges was denying my emergency petitions. But every time I went to the actual court, he ended up dismissing his petition, his one, after the baby fell out. He was looking all crazy. Apparently, he said he almost fell out. Spirit was, my ancestors, they was leaning on him. He almost fell out in the courtroom. Come to find out, he was going through it too, like in other ways. They was pressing down on him. I was granted my protective order for her, and I got it served because 4 o'clock in the morning they came in, was loud as I don't know what. I got it served, and the police officers that served it, he was begging them to put me out. And the police officer was like, no, we can't just put her out. He was going to put me out 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been through stuff. He was throwing away my food. I was vegan at the time. I've been through a lot. I've had to survive. I've had to stand still. I've had to go deep. And Spirit helped me. Was really, I've connected with Spirit through music. I've connected with Spirit through nature. Spirit gave me the strength to hold tight, to stand my ground, to not leave. Even though it was overwhelming, even though it was 2-3 police officers, even though it was her and him downstairs, even though it was all of this stuff going on. She had physically assaulted me, and he was still bringing her over. Until I got the protective order granted, he was still bringing her over. Still didn't care. Even though she banged my head into the floor, in the kitchen floor, he still was inviting her over. Because she had landed on top of me. And the way she landed, because she had long ass legs, she was tall as I don't know what. That was it. It was over. The fight was over before it started. But the way the police officers acted, they didn't even put her out that night. I clearly was the only one that had any type of, because I had like knots on my head, and she didn't have anything. And so they still ain't put her out. Like, none of that. They said, no, we can't make her leave because you're a guest too. Like, I've had some crazy stuff happen where it's like, what? That is so crazy. Like, she doesn't live here. I actually live here. No, but you're still a guest. That's crazy, because I'm pretty sure, like in other situations like that I've been in, they were supposed to make her leave. No. So I've had to deal with some stuff. I had to just shut myself in the room that night because of the attitude he had, the stuff that he was on. I didn't trust him either. He told me verbatim that he was going to put hands on me. Oh, he called Child Protective Services. He called the police and told them I was abusing my baby during that time. Had them come out and look at him. And they didn't come to any conclusion. They was just, they did. They was like, they came to a conclusion real quick because they just looked at him, gave him a sticker, and left. Because there was no marks, no bruises. Like, the amount of slander that I've been through, the amount of spiritual warfare, physically, mentally, emotionally, I was drained, I was tired, and Spirit just sustained me because I just kept asking for help. Help me through this. Tell me what to do. I'm getting a little emotional. So I'm telling you to say, Whatever you are going through, whatever rough stuff, this is not my first merry-go-round either. It's like every year something big, something devastating, something so intense just was happening. To where as though I was so tired at that point. I was already trying to gain my spiritual, like, to where as though it takes you months. And you know, if you ever been through a really hard time, a really challenging time, that deep spiritual warfare, those real deep dark times, it takes you months to recover. I was just beginning about to recover. I was just beginning to recover when that happened. You know, have faith. Karma does get delivered, because her mother ended up finding out, you know what I'm saying, she ended up losing her car that she just got. He ended up getting put out of that place. We all ended up getting evicted because he got evicted. And mind you, he was making $30 an hour and still got evicted. So things really do work. And not that I'm saying like, oh, something bad has to happen, but things really do work out. And just rely on this higher power. You may can't see them, you may can't hear them, but you feel it. You'll feel them. You may not even know when you feel them, but it's in those moments that you get up again. When you're too tired to keep going and you get up anyway. That's when they are helping you. Because after she, you know, after that physical assault happened, of course she was gone and it was back to business. He going to work, you know, she would come every weekend or, you know, once every week, twice every week. It was back to business. I had to take care of my children while he was gone all day at work. Then he would stay out all day. So it's like I didn't get a break. I was just always watching my babies, which was fine. But being physically assaulted, you know, I needed an extra nap. I needed my space to cry. Because I just seen a TikTok video of a woman breaking down. And her baby came and asked her, and it reminded me of my 4-year-old. He was 4. He was 3, turning 4 at the time. Coming up to ask her, can I have a bag of chips? And she was like, you know, I'm sitting here crying. And you gonna sit up here and ask me for a bag of chips? But she got it together though. She was like, this is what you gotta do. She was wiping her tears off. She was like, you gotta get up and go make your baby that bag of chips. You got to boss up and go make your baby that bag of chips. So for any of you guys who feel like you don't have the support for the dark times that you energetically, lean on spirit. They will give you that bossing up to wipe your tears and to carry on. To carry on long enough for that relief to come in. Because the relief was that protective order. Things got a lot more peaceful. After I served that protective order and she couldn't come over no more, he ended up dropping the petition to put me out because now she can't move in. Like, it was no point. It just, everything started falling apart. She ended up giving him something. So everything fell apart with them. By the time our last second degree assault charge, which they end up dismissing on both sides, even though I had proof, because anyway, that was a whole nother thing. But I think spirit just, sometimes spirit works in other ways. Spirit works in other ways, because trust me, they ended up seeing each other at the beginning of this year, and she ended up seeing him while he was washing clothes at a laundromat. He was washing our clothes at a laundromat. Because we all got put out. So we all at this mother's house that he kept calling on me for no, she had to come get all of us. He was washing our clothes. And don't get me started on this, because I'll do another video on when you move cleanly, because he don't got nowhere to go either now. When you move cleanly, you will get blessed tenfold. So I'm not going to be the petty one. and all of a sudden I'm not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? He ran into her and she punched him in his face, and he dragged her all across the floor, slammed her on the car. So the same person who defended you when you put hands on me is the same person that's now putting hands on you. The same girl that you got to whoop my ass, now walking up to you, fucked his face up. You see how karma happens? So, and it took a while. We got put out in October. They stopped dealing with each other in July. The last whatchamacallit happened in August. And this happened way in January. The chance meeting. So this is another reason why, if you are going through something, it's another message. If you're going through something too, don't choose revenge. Let spirit move on behalf of you, because they'll do more than you can ever do. They'll do more than you can ever do. She called them the next day talking about, of course he's telling me all this, and I'm like, I'm eating it up. I'm like, yep, talking about she couldn't move because he's slamming her all around. She said she was fighting for her life because he was choking her out. And he never put hands on me like that, but he put hands on her like that. This goes to show you, whatever, and there was more stuff that happened. Like, they tried to blow me up. They left one of that summer, they had left one of the knobs on the day that they took my children up there. He was supposed to be taking them to his uncle, which lives 30 minutes away. They ended up taking them an hour and 30 minutes away. When I got back to the apartment, to the townhouse, it smelled like gas. You know, when you leave the knob on, but it's no fire. We had a gas stove. One of the burners didn't light, so that was turned on, and it was a lighter right next to the stove. So if it didn't have that smell, I would have blew up. I would have lit something and I would have blew up. I had to open up the front door, the back door. I had to open up all the windows, and I had to sit outside for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I'm like, did they try to blow me up? Then I'm texting him. I'm like, did you try to kill me? I was like, I should have called the police. Then he's stupid. He was like, oh, you just admitted to trying to blow me up. I'm like, how, when you're gone? Y'all was there last and now I'm here. So how did I blow you up? And that just confirmed that they was trying to blow me up. I was like, what type of sick, like, I'm trying to tell you, like, he was possessed with something. Something was not clicking. I was dealing with a whole demon during that time. Trying to blow me up. Then he used to work for a gas company, so I don't know why he didn't know that they put a smell in the gas. I can smell it. Did he think I was stupid enough to not smell? Like, I don't know whether she did it, he did it. Because she was pretty stupid too. She was they was swearing her in. They said, raise your right hand, and she did like this. She rose her left hand. And somebody behind her, they was hearing the whole thing, and you're not supposed to talk on other people's cases. They was like, your right hand, dummy. They said it just like that. Like, this is how crazy these people were. People in the courtroom was looking at them, commenting, saying, your right hand, dummy. She said it just like that, because they can just tell. They can just feel an aura. They can just hear everything and just be like, yo, this is trifling. He testified on behalf of her for the protective order, and she was trying to ask him questions, and he's stuttering and not answering and sounding stupid. So when it was her turn, your right hand, dummy, because people know, people not stupid. Like, and this is what I was dealing with. So just know. And this was a story time. Something was like, I'm going to do a story time today to encourage you, to let you know, like, things may look crazy. Your decisions might not make sense to everybody. Because if I had went to that homeless shelter, where would I be right now? Where would I be right now? Where would I really be? Because you got to leave a homeless shelter during the day. Like, things wouldn't have went as smoothly. I wouldn't been able to get the protective order. She would probably be living with him right now, taking care of my kids. He probably would have tried to get full. There are so many ways in which that would have created more upheaval. And I kept getting that advice, you know. I met a lady at Artscape or something like that, and that's what she recommended to me. She was like, yeah, you need to leave, because I called her. I met her during Artscape, and then I called her after it happened, an older lady. She was like, yeah, you need to go to a mothers and children's shelter and da-da-da-da-da. Because then he filed, when I filed for custody, he ended up filing for custody. He probably would have got it. Because he had a job, he had a place to stay, and I'm the one that looks like I don't have a job and I don't have a place to stay now. So trust spirit. It may not make sense to everybody, but spirit is fighting on your behalf. You don't have to move, you just have to weather the storm. You have to just be still while spirit is, oh my goodness. And I just got a message about that, about Archangel Michael, Seraphim Michael, where he's asking me to just be still, because I'm still kind of going through it, living with my peoples. But spirit has already spoke to me and told me nursing is not the way. So in order for something to truly change, you got to truly take that leap of faith. And that leap of faith don't just happen 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. No, it's been happening for months. You have to take that leap of faith. You have to, me posting these videos, you gotta wait till it take off. You can't give up on yourself. Like when you hear those people being homeless and they make it, it's because they take that leap of faith on themselves. Please don't think that they couldn't just go somewhere else. And you know, people got options available to them, but sometimes the option is to stand still and let the angels fight for you. So rely on spirit, rely on your ancestors. They will come through. They always come through. And I'm in a much better situation. After this, you see I'm sweating, I can get up and go get me in a pool. Even though I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? It's still a lot better than what it was last year. It's still a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I've even found my power, and I found so much healing here where I don't let them move me. They can't move me. My peoples, my parents, they can't move me like they used to. There's a sense of power that I even found coming back here. So even this is even working out. So when I finally do leave, I'm still not carrying all that baggage. Be still. Be still. And they will fight for you. They will fight. May this find who it needs to find. May it find people who are generally in situations that they don't know how to get out of, that they don't know what they're gonna do, where it seems like they're boxed in the corner, spirit, please. And let them find this video to let them know to hold on, to hang on. And while you're hanging on, you're not hanging on a monkey bar with one arm by yourself. You're being supported. Underneath of you, you have so many angels and ancestors that are supporting you. They're holding you up. While you're hanging on, they're holding you up to help you to hang on a little bit longer. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right here. Hang on. Hang on. Because you are being supported while you hang on. Don't give up, because the angels, the ancestors, God, the universe. I know this damn grass is itchy. It's not giving up on you. So this is where I leave you. I'm with you. I see you. This is one in like 5 crazy, long, drawn out situation. Like, this is not just this, oh, I got into a fight one day. No, this was carried out over months. Went 0 to 100, where next thing you know, you turn around, people's just moving shady, moving funny. You will get through it. And I applaud you for remaining steadfast, for remaining honest, for getting up and doing what you got to do when it's hard, for not retaliating in ways. Oh, that's a spider. Yes, the divine feminine, not retaliating in ways that isn't for you. And look, you calling now. You got this. Like, subscribe, share, so other people can see this message. You never know who needs to see this message. You never know what people are going through. Because I used to go to the community pool, and they would never know. They would never know that I was, you know what I'm saying, that the police was being called to the townhouse every week, twice a week. You wouldn't know unless you lived around me and you seen us.